Let me ask you a question. What would happen if you truly believed in yourself? Not just in passing moments of confidence, but in every aspect of your being every single day. Let me tell you, belief in yourself is the foundation of everything. It's the bedrock on which success, fulfillment, and purpose are built. Without self-belief, no matter how many accolades or achievements you gain, it will never truly satisfy your spirit. It will always feel like something is missing. When you believe in yourself, you create a vision for your life, and that vision becomes your guide. It becomes the compass that directs your actions, that informs your decisions, and that keeps you focused no matter how stormy the seas may seem. You are not wandering aimlessly, hoping things will work out. You are walking in alignment with your purpose, and there is power in that. Now, I want you to understand something very important. Challenges will come. Difficulties will arise. There is no escape from that. But when you believe in yourself, you will see those challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to strengthen your character, and to prove to yourself just how resilient you really are. Have you ever listened to your own inner voice? What does it say? Is it filled with doubt and fear, or with encouragement and hope? You see, self-talk is a powerful tool. And when you learn to speak to yourself with kindness, with belief, and with the confidence that you are capable of achieving greatness, something incredible happens. You start to believe it. And let me make one thing clear. Failure does not define you. It's a lesson, not a final verdict. The moment you understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but simply a stepping stone on the path to success, you unlock a new level of freedom. You are not afraid to try, because you know every setback is temporary and part of the journey. Believing in yourself doesn't mean striving for perfection. It means striving for progress. Every small step you take, every bit of effort you put in counts. Growth is the measure of success, not perfection. And every time you get up after falling down, you prove to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you are resilient. Now, we must also acknowledge the power of the environment around us. The people we choose to surround ourselves with play a significant role in shaping our belief in ourselves. When you're around people who uplift you, who encourage you to be your best, your belief in yourself grows exponentially. So be mindful of the energy you invite into your life. Surround yourself with those who see the potential in you, even when you can't see it for yourself. I want you to know that your belief in yourself will not only change your life, it will change the world. Confidence is contagious. When you believe in your own potential, you empower others to believe in theirs. And together, we create a ripple effect that can impact generations. So today I challenge you to stand tall in the belief that you are capable, that you have a purpose, and that the world needs what you have to offer. The power to create the life you want lies within you. It always has. Believe in yourself and watch how the world begins to believe in you too. Your self-worth is the most crucial aspect of your success. It is the solid ground on which everything else is built. The truth is, no matter how much external success you achieve, how many awards you earn, or how many people praise you, if you do not have a deep belief in your own value, nothing will ever feel truly fulfilling. People often chase validation from the outside world, seeking approval, recognition, or acknowledgement. But this validation is fleeting. It is temporary. True fulfillment comes from within. When you understand your own worth, you no longer rely on others to define you. You no longer let the opinions of others dictate your actions, decisions, or self-perception. Your sense of self-worth comes from your inner belief that you are worthy of success, worthy of love, and worthy of greatness, regardless of what others might say or think. This unshakable belief in yourself becomes the driving force behind everything you do. The world often tries to define our worth by external factors, by what we achieve, how much we own, or what we look like. But none of these things can define you. They are only temporary markers of success. What matters most is how you see yourself, how you value your potential, and how you believe you can make an impact. When you recognize your inherent value, your perspective shifts. You start making choices based on what is best for your growth, rather than trying to fit into what society expects of you. This is when real success happens. Not when you are chasing someone else's idea of success, but when you align with your true purpose and potential. When you know your worth, it builds the confidence to face challenges head on. You understand that setbacks, failures, and struggles are not reflections of your value, but simply part of the process of growth. The more you believe in your worth, the more you are willing to take risks, to learn, to fall, and to rise again. Failure does not diminish your worth. It teaches you valuable lessons and brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. Believing in your worth is not about arrogance or entitlement, but about knowing that you are deserving of the best life has to offer. It's about understanding that you have something unique to contribute to the world and that your efforts matter. When you believe in your worth, you approach challenges with the mindset that you are capable of overcoming them. You no longer shrink in fear or hesitate to act because you know that you are fully equipped with everything you need to succeed. Self-worth is not about perfection. It's about acknowledging that you are enough just as you are. That your worth does not come from your mistakes or achievements, but from the fact that you are inherently valuable as a person. This understanding is empowering. It gives you the strength to continue moving forward, no matter what life throws at you. When your foundation is built on a true belief in your worth, no external challenge can shake it. It doesn't matter how difficult things get or how long the road may seem, your inner belief in your value will keep you moving forward, driven by purpose and passion. Success becomes a natural outcome of self-worth. When you believe in your own value, you attract opportunities, you inspire others, and you create a life that reflects your beliefs. You make better choices, take more confident actions, and align your life with the truth of who you really are. Everything you do stems from a deep knowing that you are capable of achieving your dreams and worthy of all the success and happiness life has to offer. It all starts with how you see yourself. And when that foundation is solid, nothing can stop you. Vision and purpose are the compass that guide you through life's journey. Without them, you're like a ship drifting aimlessly in open waters, susceptible to the winds and currents of circumstance. When you have a clear vision and a strong sense of purpose, you're no longer at the mercy of external forces. You steer your own course, unwavering and intentional. A vision is the picture you hold in your mind of the future you want to create. It's not just a goal or an aspiration. It's the larger narrative of your life. the way you see your potential, your impact, and the legacy you wish to leave. A clear vision provides you with direction. It illuminates the path forward, especially when things get difficult. Without vision, you risk getting caught up in the distractions and detours of everyday life, losing sight of your deeper desires and what truly matters to you. Purpose is what breathes life into your vision. It is the reason you wake up every morning, the driving force behind every decision, every challenge, and every step you take. It's the belief that there is something meaningful for you to do in this world, something only you can contribute. Purpose gives your vision a deeper meaning, aligning it with your core values and passions. When you know why you are doing something, that reason fuels your perseverance, especially in times of doubt or hardship. When vision and purpose are aligned, they give you a sense of clarity and certainty. Even if the journey is uncertain, you can trust that you're heading in the right direction. Life may throw obstacles your way, but when your vision is clear and your purpose is rooted in your heart, you are able to navigate through challenges with conviction. The difficulties you face become part of your story, part of the journey that makes your vision even more powerful when realized. Purpose also anchors you during moments of confusion or discouragement. It serves as a reminder that your struggles are not pointless, but are helping you grow and develop the resilience and strength needed to fulfill your calling. When you face setbacks, the knowledge that your purpose is greater than any temporary hardship can provide the fuel you need to keep going. Vision and purpose influence the way you make decisions. They help you determine what opportunities are worth pursuing and which ones might lead you astray. They provide a filter through which you evaluate your choices, ensuring that everything you do is aligned with the life you envision and the purpose you feel compelled to fulfill. Without vision and purpose, you may be swayed by external expectations, by other people's dreams, or by the fear of failure. But with them, you have the strength to say no to things that don't align with your higher purpose, even if they seem appealing in the moment. Your vision also shapes the impact you have on others. When you are living in alignment with your purpose, your energy, enthusiasm, and authenticity inspire those around you. People are drawn to clarity, passion, and conviction. Your belief in your purpose gives others permission to believe in their own. The ripple effect of a clear vision and strong purpose can extend far beyond what you may ever realize. When you know where you are headed and why you're headed there, you become unstoppable. Every action you take, every challenge you face, every success you achieve, all becomes a testament to the power of living with vision and purpose. They provide not only the motivation to keep moving forward, but also the strength to rise when things don't go according to plan. You trust that the obstacles you encounter are just part of the process, part of the story you are creating, one that is uniquely yours. Challenges are not obstacles meant to stop you in your tracks. They are opportunities waiting to be discovered. In life, we often encounter difficulties that seem insurmountable, but in reality, they are the very things that shape us and help us grow. The way you perceive challenges can change everything. When you see them as barriers, they paralyze you, and you become consumed by fear or doubt. But when you begin to view challenges as opportunities, you transform them into stepping stones on your journey to greatness. Every challenge presents a chance to learn something new about yourself, to develop your skills and to test your limits. It's easy to think of failure as something that defines you negatively, but Failure is simply an opportunity to try again with more knowledge and experience. When you embrace challenges, you stop seeing them as setbacks and instead view them as crucial moments for growth. They force you to think differently, to innovate, and to push beyond what you thought was possible. Obstacles often reveal parts of yourself that you may not have known existed. In the face of adversity, your strengths emerge, your resilience is tested, and your creativity comes to life. Challenges push you out of your comfort zone, and it's only outside of that comfort zone that real growth occurs. If everything were easy, if everything were smooth sailing, there would be no room for personal development. The trials you face are the very things that mold you into the person you are meant to become. One of the greatest opportunities in challenges is the chance to build perseverance. When things don't go according to plan, it's not the end, it's simply a chance to keep going. Perseverance is the key to success. The more you face and overcome challenges, the more you strengthen your ability to withstand adversity in the future. It becomes a cycle of growth. Each challenge you conquer makes you more capable of handling the next one. The more resilient you become, the more equipped you are to handle whatever comes your way. Challenges push you to question your limits. What you once thought was impossible may become achievable because you were forced to find solutions, to innovate, and to rethink your approach. There's power in the struggle. When faced with challenges, you develop new ways of thinking, new strategies, and new tools that you didn't have before. This makes you more resourceful and better prepared for the future. Challenges also often bring out the best in others. In times of difficulty, you may find that you have a greater capacity for empathy, leadership, and collaboration than you ever realized. The very nature of overcoming adversity brings people together, and it strengthens relationships. The challenges you face can foster a spirit of unity and solidarity, where others come alongside you to help, support, and encourage you through tough times. This shared experience can create bonds that are stronger than any success achieved alone. Facing challenges teaches you to let go of perfectionism. Not everything will go as planned, and that's okay. In fact, the most successful people are those who are willing to fail, to make mistakes, and to try again. Perfectionism keeps you stuck in fear and prevents you from taking risks. But when you see challenges as opportunities, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection and give yourself the freedom to be imperfect, to try new things, and to embrace the journey even when it's messy. The most significant growth happens when we encounter difficulty and rise to meet it. Every challenge, whether small or large, brings with it a lesson that we can apply to the next phase of our lives. These lessons are not always easy, but they are invaluable. The person you become as a result of overcoming challenges is far stronger, wiser, and more capable than the person you were before. In the end, challenges don't just teach us how to solve problems. They teach us who we are and what we are truly capable of achieving. So the next time you face a challenge, don't see it as a barrier that's stopping you. See it as an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of yourself. The words we speak to ourselves have immense power. They shape our thoughts, influence our actions, and ultimately determine the course of our lives. Often, we don't realize how much control we have over our own minds. The voice inside our heads can either be our greatest ally or our worst enemy, depending on how we choose to use it. This internal dialogue, known as self-talk, is far more than just idle thoughts. It is the constant stream of messages we send ourselves that impact our beliefs, attitudes, and even our outcomes. When we speak positively to ourselves, we build confidence, reinforce our worth, and strengthen our resolve. Positive self-talk empowers us to face challenges with courage and perseverance. It encourages us to take risks, pursue our goals, and stay resilient in the face of adversity. But when we allow negative self-talk to dominate, we limit our potential, drain our energy, and trap ourselves in a cycle of doubt and fear. The way we talk to ourselves can either propel us forward or hold us back. Self-talk begins with the thoughts we have about ourselves, which are often shaped by our past experiences, beliefs, and the messages we've received from others. Over time, these thoughts create a narrative, a story about who we are and what we are capable of. If our self-talk is filled with criticism, self-doubt, and negativity, it reinforces the belief that we are not good enough, that we can't succeed, or that we don't deserve happiness or success. On the other hand, if our self-talk is filled with encouragement, optimism, and self-compassion, it fosters a sense of empowerment and possibility. One of the most powerful aspects of self-talk is its ability to influence our behavior. When we tell ourselves that we are capable, confident, and worthy of success, we begin to act in ways that align with those beliefs. We take actions that reflect our inner confidence, even when we're uncertain or afraid. Positive self-talk can transform our mindset, turning challenges into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. It encourages us to keep going, to try again, and to never give up. Conversely, negative self-talk works in the opposite way. When we constantly tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we're bound to fail, or that others are better than we are, we unconsciously limit our own potential. Negative self-talk creates fear, paralysis, and procrastination. It convinces us that we are powerless in the face of obstacles and that success is out of our reach. The more we feed into this negativity, the more it becomes ingrained in our minds, reinforcing the belief that we cannot change or improve. The power of self-talk lies in its ability to reshape our beliefs about ourselves. If we consistently affirm our strengths, celebrate our accomplishments, and remind ourselves of our worth, we begin to see ourselves through a new lens, one of possibility, resilience, and strength. Instead of focusing on our failures, we start to focus on our growth, our progress, and our potential. This shift in perspective can completely transform how we approach life and the challenges we face. It's important to recognize that self-talk is not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on the positive aspects of ourselves and our lives, even in the midst of difficulty. It's about being kind and compassionate to ourselves, especially when things don't go as planned. When we are our own biggest supporters, we cultivate an inner strength that allows us to rise above challenges and bounce back from setbacks with greater resilience. The good news is that self-talk is something we can control. We may not always be able to control our external circumstances, but we have the power to choose the thoughts we entertain and the words we say to ourselves. It takes practice, but over time, we can train our minds to adopt more empowering, affirming language. Just as we would encourage a friend or loved one, we must learn to speak to ourselves with the same compassion, kindness, and encouragement. By being mindful of our inner dialogue, we can begin to shift our thoughts from self-doubt to self-belief, from fear to courage, from limitation to possibility. The way we talk to ourselves influences how we see the world, how we interact with others, and how we pursue our dreams. When we embrace the power of positive self-talk, we unlock our true potential, and we begin to show up as the best version of ourselves, confident, capable, and ready to face whatever challenges come our way. You are, without a doubt, your own greatest resource. The potential within you is vast, more abundant than you may even realize. Often we look outward for solutions, for validation, or for the answers to our problems. We seek external resources, whether it be financial support, a mentor, or approval from others. While these things can certainly assist us along our journey, the most powerful resource you have at your disposal is the inner strength, wisdom, and abilities that lie within you. Too often, people underestimate their own potential. They become dependent on external factors to shape their future, forgetting that their greatest asset is already within them. The power to create change, to overcome adversity, and to manifest dreams lies not in what you have or who you know, but in who you are. It's your thoughts, your mindset, your resilience, your creativity, and your unique abilities that set you apart. Once you tap into the depth of your own potential, you will realize that there is nothing you cannot achieve. Your mind is one of the most powerful tools you possess. The way you think shapes the reality you experience. If you believe that you are limited by external circumstances, you will be. But if you believe that you have the ability to change your situation, to learn, to grow, and to adapt, you open up a world of possibilities. Your thoughts and beliefs are the driving forces behind everything you do. And when you cultivate a mindset of empowerment and possibility, you begin to unlock doors that were once closed. The stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you can do are what will either limit or expand your potential. Your emotions are another incredible resource. They guide you, inform you, and connect you to your deeper desires. When you learn to harness and manage your emotions, they become powerful tools for personal growth. Emotions like passion, enthusiasm, and determination can propel you forward, while feelings of doubt and fear, when recognized and processed, can be used as signals for growth and self. Emotional intelligence is one of the greatest gifts you can cultivate, because it gives you the power to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom, clarity, and authenticity. Your emotions are not weaknesses to be feared. They are powerful signals and sources of guidance. Your creativity is another resource that resides within you. Every individual is born with creative potential. And it is through this creativity that solutions are found, problems are solved, and innovations are born. Creativity isn't just about being artistic. It's about the ability to think outside of the box, to approach challenges from different angles, and to find new ways to do things. When you tap into your creativity, you allow yourself the freedom to explore new possibilities and to create a life that is uniquely yours. It is through creativity that you learn to innovate, adapt, and grow. One of the greatest advantages of being your own greatest resource is the ability to develop self-reliance. While it's wonderful to receive support and encouragement from others, you must first believe in your ability to make decisions, to solve problems, and to take responsibility for your own life. When you develop this internal confidence, you gain the courage to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, and to forge your own path. The ability to trust yourself, to believe in your own judgment, and to act in alignment with your values and purpose will carry you further than any external resource ever could. Your experiences are an invaluable resource. Every challenge you have faced, every mistake you have made, every success you have achieved, All of these experiences have contributed to the person you are today. They have provided you with wisdom, resilience, and the knowledge needed to navigate life's complexities. These experiences are not burdens to carry, but lessons to learn from. And they have equipped you with the tools necessary to continue moving forward. The more you learn to appreciate your journey, the more you can see the wealth of experience you carry within you. Another powerful resource you possess is your time. Time, when used wisely, becomes an incredibly valuable asset. It is often said that time is money, but in reality, time is far more valuable than money. While money can be earned back, time lost can never be recovered. How you choose to invest your time is one of the most important decisions you can make. It's through the way you spend your time that you either move closer to your goals or further away from them. Recognizing the value of time and using it purposefully is key to unlocking your full potential. The most powerful resource you have is your sense of purpose. When you're connected to your deeper sense of why, everything you do becomes infused with meaning. Purpose drives you forward, even in the face of obstacles. It gives you direction, focus, and clarity. It helps you prioritize your efforts and navigate the challenges that come your way. Purpose provides the energy to keep going when things get tough, reminding you that the struggles you face are not in vain, but are part of a larger plan for your life. When you align with your purpose, you become unstoppable. You are the sum of your experiences, your talents, your thoughts, and your beliefs. The more you connect with these internal resources, the more you realize that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Your greatest resource is not something external. It is the unique and powerful individual that you are. When you learn to tap into your inner strength, you will find that everything you need to succeed is already within you. Failures are not a reflection of your worth or your potential. They do not define who you are or what you are capable of achieving. In fact, failure is an essential part of the journey toward success. It is through failure that we learn, grow, and become better versions of ourselves. The key is how you choose to view failure and what you do with the lessons it offers. If you see failure as a permanent setback or a reflection of your inadequacy, it can become a barrier that holds you back. But if you see failure as an opportunity to learn and an inevitable part of the process, it becomes a stepping stone on your path to greater success. Failure is a momentary experience, not a permanent identity. When you fail at something, it does not mean you are a failure. It simply means you didn't achieve the desired outcome this time. Failure is not a label. It's an event, a situation, or a circumstance that does not have to determine your future. What defines you is not the failure itself, but how you respond to it. You can choose to let failure define you, or you can choose to use it as a tool to refine your character, strengthen your resolve, and sharpen your skills. Every successful person has encountered failure along their journey. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is how they approach failure. Successful people understand that failure is a natural part of life. They don't take it personally or allow it to stop them. Instead, they view it as feedback, a valuable opportunity to learn what doesn't work and to adjust their approach moving forward. With each failure, they get closer to success. Because they are not afraid to fail, they embrace it as part of the process. When you fail, you're not defined by the mistake. You're defined by your ability to keep going. The most important thing is not whether you fall, but whether you rise after you fall. Resilience, the ability to bounce back after setbacks, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up. Failure becomes a lesson in perseverance, teaching you to pick yourself up, reassess, and move forward with more wisdom and clarity than before. Failure also helps you develop a deeper understanding of yourself. It challenges you to confront your limitations, face your fears, and deal with your insecurities. It pushes you to step outside your comfort zone, to test your boundaries, and to build mental toughness. It's through facing failure that you learn what you are truly made of. You discover your inner strength, your ability to adapt, and your capacity for growth. When you confront failure head on and refuse to let it control you, you gain confidence and a sense of empowerment. Rather than allowing failure to stop you, use it as fuel for your next attempt. Let it motivate you to try harder, to improve, and to refine your approach. With each failure, you get closer to the breakthrough you're seeking. The path to success is never linear. It's full of twists, turns, and detours. But these detours are not dead ends. They are simply opportunities to learn new lessons that ultimately guide you toward the right destination. It's also important to recognize that failure is not always the end of the road. Sometimes it's just a redirection. What you once thought was a failure might actually be a necessary step towards something better. Doors that don't open, opportunities that don't materialize, and plans that fall apart may simply be guiding you toward a different path, one that better aligns with your true purpose or with a more successful outcome. In this way, failure can often be seen as divine timing, as life's way of steering you in the right direction, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. In the face of failure, remember that you are not defined by your past mistakes. Each day is an opportunity to start anew, to approach life with fresh perspective, and to move forward with renewed determination. Failure is a temporary experience, but your capacity to learn, grow, and overcome is what will define you. You are not the sum of your failures, but the sum of your ability to rise above them. As long as you continue to learn, to evolve, and to pursue your dreams, you are on the right path. Failure is merely a teacher, guiding you toward greater wisdom, resilience, and eventual success. The pursuit of perfection can be a powerful motivator, but it can also become a barrier to progress. When you focus too much on being perfect, you risk becoming paralyzed by fear of making mistakes or not measuring up. Perfection is an unattainable ideal, and the more you chase it, the more you may find yourself stuck in a cycle of self-criticism, frustration, and stagnation. Instead of striving for perfection, shift your focus to growth, on constantly improving, learning, and evolving, rather than expecting flawless outcomes every time. Growth is a process. It involves trial and error, successes and setbacks, and a willingness to learn from every experience, whether it's a success or a failure. When you focus on growth, you embrace the journey, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to your development. It's the accumulation of these small, consistent efforts that lead to significant progress over time. Growth allows room for mistakes, imperfections, and learning, while perfection demands an unrealistic standard that ultimately limits you. In focusing on growth, you give yourself the permission to try, fail, and try again. You no longer need to fear making mistakes or not doing something perfectly. You understand that mistakes are simply opportunities to improve, and that each mistake provides valuable feedback that informs the next attempt. With this mindset, the pressure to be perfect disappears, and the joy of learning and developing takes center stage. You start to appreciate the process rather than only fixating on the end result. Growth is about becoming better than you were yesterday. It's about consistent improvement, no matter how small the changes may seem in the moment. Each effort, no matter how imperfect, brings you closer to your full potential. And over time, those small changes accumulate, leading to profound transformation. The more you focus on the growth process, the more you recognize the progress you've made, rather than being overwhelmed by what you still need to fix. This shift in focus allows you to celebrate your achievements along the way, instead of always feeling like you're falling short of an unattainable standard. It's important to realize that perfectionism often comes from a place of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But growth is born from courage and a willingness to embrace vulnerability. When you focus on growth, you acknowledge that you are not perfect, and that's okay. You don't need to have it all figured out to start. You don't need to wait until you are perfect before taking action. In fact, the pursuit of growth means taking imperfect action, learning along the way, and adjusting as you go. This flexibility and openness to change fosters resilience and adaptability, qualities that are key to long-term success. Focusing on growth also allows you to embrace your uniqueness. You realize that your journey is different from everyone else's, and your path to growth will look different too. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to development, and that's what makes the process so personal and valuable. Perfectionism tends to create a rigid framework, but growth allows you to carve your own path, one that reflects your individual needs, values, and aspirations. You start to trust yourself more because you understand that growth isn't about comparing yourself to others or meeting external expectations. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in your own time and in your own way. When you focus on growth, you also start to build a sense of self-compassion. Instead of beating yourself up over perceived flaws or mistakes, you become kinder to yourself. You recognize that you're doing the best you can, and that's enough. You stop seeking external validation and instead learn to validate your own efforts. You understand that growth is not linear and it's okay to stumble along the way. What matters is that you keep moving forward, no matter how imperfect the steps may be. Self-compassion nurtures resilience, and resilience is what ultimately helps you continue moving toward your goals, even when faced with challenges. By focusing on growth, you give yourself the opportunity to live authentically. Perfectionism often leads to the constant need to perform, to meet the expectations of others, or to put on a facade. But when you shift to a growth mindset, you release the pressure to be perfect, and you allow yourself the freedom to be real. You no longer feel the need to hide your flaws or to present a curated version of yourself. Growth encourages authenticity, and when you embrace your true self, you tap into a deeper sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Growth is the key to lasting success. While perfection may be a fleeting ideal, growth is sustainable. As long as you're committed to evolving, learning, and becoming better every day, you are always moving forward, regardless of how perfect your journey looks. The true measure of success isn't about perfection, it's about progress. By embracing growth, you allow yourself the freedom to reach your highest potential, knowing that the process of becoming is just as important as the final destination. Resilience is one of the most powerful qualities a person can cultivate. It's the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt in the face of adversity, and keep moving forward despite the challenges and obstacles that inevitably arise. Life is full of unexpected twists, turns, and moments of hardship. And while we may not always have control over what happens to us, resilience is the key that enables us to navigate through life's most difficult circumstances with strength, hope, and perseverance. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship or never experiencing failure. It's about the way we choose to respond to life's difficulties. In the face of adversity, resilient individuals don't crumble or give up. They rise. They face the challenge head on, learn from the experience, and emerge stronger on the other side. It's the mindset that despite the setbacks, you can still overcome and keep moving forward. Resilience enables you to see obstacles not as insurmountable roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow, learn, and become more capable. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is the ability to remain hopeful even in the darkest of times. Life may not always go according to plan, and there will be moments when you feel defeated or overwhelmed. But resilient individuals understand that these moments are temporary. They know that just because things are difficult now, it doesn't mean they will be difficult forever. Hope becomes their anchor. And with hope comes the belief that things will get better, that they will find a way through, and that brighter days are ahead. Resilience allows you to hold on to that hope and use it as fuel to keep pushing forward. To hope, resilience is rooted in self-belief. When you cultivate resilience, you also cultivate confidence in your own abilities. You learn to trust that no matter what happens, you have the inner strength and resources to handle the situation. This self-belief doesn't come from arrogance or naivety. It comes from experience. Every time you overcome a challenge or face adversity and emerge on the other side, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You begin to recognize that no matter how tough things get, you have the ability to rise, adapt, and keep going. Resilience also teaches you the value of perseverance. When things get tough, it can be tempting to give up or throw in the towel. But resilience reminds you that success isn't always immediate. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it requires patience, determination, and the willingness to keep trying, even when it seems like the road is never ending. The most successful people are often those who persist long after others have given up. Resilience is a quality that allows you to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when you don't see immediate results, because you understand that every effort counts and every step forward brings you closer to your goals. Adversity often brings with it the opportunity for self-discovery. When you're faced with hardship, you're forced to dig deep and find parts of yourself that you may not have known existed. It's in the face of adversity that you learn the depth of your own character, your true strength, and your capacity for growth. Resilience invites you to tap into those hidden reservoirs of strength, to discover how much you're truly capable of, and to understand that you have within you all that you need to overcome the challenges in front of you. You begin to realize that the very things that seem to hold you back may also be the things that propel you forward, as they teach you the lessons necessary for your growth. To personal growth, resilience fosters a sense of adaptability. Life rarely goes as planned, and circumstances are always changing. Resilient individuals have the ability to adapt to new situations, adjust their expectations, and find new ways to move forward when things don't go as expected. This flexibility is key to navigating life's uncertainties, with grace and confidence. When you're resilient, you don't resist change or get stuck in the past. You embrace it, adjust your course, and keep going. Another important aspect of resilience is emotional strength. Resilient individuals don't ignore or suppress their emotions. They acknowledge them and use them to fuel their growth. They allow themselves to feel the pain, disappointment, or frustration that comes with difficult situations, but they don't let those emotions control them. Instead, they use their emotions as a source of energy to drive them forward, to propel them into action, and to keep moving toward their goals. Resilience is about acknowledging the full spectrum of emotions and using them to maintain your focus and determination. Resilience is deeply connected to our sense of purpose. When you have a clear vision of your goals, your values, and your why, resilience becomes easier to tap into. Having a sense of purpose provides you with the strength to face difficult times, because you know that every challenge is leading you closer to something greater. It gives you the conviction to keep going even when the road is hard, because you know that your struggles are not in vain. They are part of your journey toward fulfilling your purpose. The power of resilience lies in its ability to transform challenges into opportunities, setbacks into lessons, and adversity into strength. It's the ability to remain grounded in the face of difficulty, to keep moving forward despite the odds, and to always believe that there is a way through. Resilience is not about being invincible. It's about having the courage to rise each time you fall. It's about finding the strength to continue even when everything inside of you tells you to quit. Resilience is the power to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep believing in yourself, no matter what. The people you choose to surround yourself with have a profound impact on your energy, your mindset, and your journey through life. Energy is contagious, whether it's positive or negative. The individuals in your life either lift you up or pull you down. When you surround yourself with people who encourage, uplift, and support your growth, you create an environment that nurtures your potential. On the other hand, when you allow negative energy, criticism, or doubt to surround you, it can drain your motivation, hinder your progress, and make the journey feel much more difficult. Supportive energy is a catalyst for growth. When you have people around you who genuinely care about your success, they inspire you to be the best version of yourself. These individuals are your cheerleaders, your sounding boards, and your mirrors, reflecting back the greatness within you even when you can't see it. They offer you encouragement during challenging times, celebrate your victories, and help you navigate setbacks with wisdom and perspective. Their belief in you strengthens your own belief in yourself, and that shared energy propels you forward. The right people challenge you to push beyond your comfort zone. They don't let you settle for mediocrity or complacency, but they encourage you to strive for excellence. Their constructive feedback helps you grow, while their unwavering support provides the foundation you need to take risks and embrace new opportunities. Surrounding yourself with people who see your potential, even when you doubt it, creates an environment of possibility. Their energy reflects the confidence they have in you. And that belief becomes contagious, motivating you to take action toward your dreams. However, not all energy is beneficial. There will always be people who project negativity, doubt, or fear onto you. These individuals may criticize your dreams, belittle your ambitions, or discourage you from pursuing your goals. Their energy can be toxic. And if you allow it to infiltrate your life, it can limit your growth and cloud your vision. Negative energy drains your motivation and replaces hope with despair. It makes you second guess your decisions and causes you to question your self-worth. This kind of energy keeps you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and can make you feel like your dreams are unattainable. To protect your progress, it's essential to recognize these toxic influences and take proactive steps to limit their impact. Surrounding yourself with supportive energy also means cultivating relationships with those who share your values, vision, and goals. When you align yourself with people who have similar aspirations, you create a powerful support system that reinforces your commitment to your dream. With a clear sense of purpose, every decision becomes easier, and every obstacle becomes surmountable. Now, let's talk about the importance of breaking negative patterns. We all have habits, thoughts, and behaviors that limit our growth. These patterns, if left unchecked, keep us stuck in cycles of mediocrity and failure. You must be willing to challenge your old ways, break free from toxic environments, and step into a new mindset of possibility. It is also essential to heal from the past. Too many of us carry unresolved wounds that weigh us down. We cannot move forward if we are still anchored to the pain of our past. Healing is not a choice. It is a requirement. Let go of old hurts. Forgive those who have wronged you and release any guilt or shame you may be carrying. Only then can you truly start to fix yourself. But remember, fixing yourself is a lifelong process. It's about continuous growth. Personal development isn't a destination, it's a journey. Every day, take small steps to better yourself. Never stop learning, evolving, and improving. Faith is also key. You must have faith in yourself. Believe in your ability to rise above any challenge. Even when others doubt you, you must have an unwavering belief in your own potential. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? I want to leave you with this. Commit to action. Fixing yourself is not just about knowing what needs to be done. It's about doing it. Every day, take intentional steps toward your goals. Break old habits, build new ones, and keep moving forward. So today I challenge you to fix yourself. Take responsibility. Master your emotions. Shift your mindset. Find your purpose. Break free from old patterns. Heal from your past. Commit to continuous growth. Believe in your potential and act on your dreams. Your future is in your hands, and it starts with you. Fix yourself. The world is waiting for the best version of you. Personal responsibility is the cornerstone of any meaningful change in your life. It's the understanding that you are the creator of your own experiences and that you have the power to determine the course of your life. Far too often, people look outwardly for reasons why things are not working out. They blame circumstances, other people, or even the world itself for their struggles. But the truth is, the most significant change begins when we look inward. Taking personal responsibility means acknowledging that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you absolutely control how you respond to what happens. Life is full of challenges, and none of us are exempt from them. However, your response to those challenges determines your growth and the direction in which you move. When you take full responsibility for your actions, choices, and reactions, you reclaim your power and stop being a passive participant in your own life. It's easy to fall into the trap of making excuses, blaming others, or giving up when things don't go as planned. But once you accept responsibility for your life, you also take control of your power to make changes. It's about owning your decisions, both the good and the bad, and understanding that you have the ability to shape your future by learning from every experience. Even when things don't go the way you want, there's always a lesson to be learned. Taking personal responsibility is about finding those lessons, growing from them, and using them to fuel your next move forward. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You take ownership of your journey, your dreams, and your actions. This mindset shift is liberating because it allows you to realize that the life you lead is not dependent on someone else or on random events, but on the decisions you make each day. Every choice you make moves you closer to or further from the life you desire. And by owning those choices, you empower yourself to create the future you want. In taking responsibility, you also begin to see the interconnectedness of your thoughts, actions, and outcomes. You begin to understand that your life is a reflection of what you think and believe about yourself. If you believe you're incapable or undeserving, your life will reflect that. If you believe you are capable of overcoming obstacles, of growing, and of making progress, your life will reflect that too. It all starts with you. To truly embrace personal responsibility is to stop blaming and start changing. It's about recognizing that while we can't control everything, we can control how we approach the challenges life throws at us. When you do this, you free yourself from the cycle of helplessness and put yourself on the path to empowerment and growth. Personal responsibility is the key to unlocking your full potential, because it is only when you take full responsibility for your life that you begin to realize that you have the ability to fix what needs to be fixed and to create the life you want to live. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth and transformation. It's the ability to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and the underlying motivations that drive them. Without self-awareness, you are like a ship sailing through a storm with no compass or map to guide you. You may move forward, but you won't have a clear understanding of where you're heading, or if you're even moving in the right direction. Being self-aware means being in tune with who you truly are, not who you think you should be or who others expect you to be. It's about honestly assessing your strengths, weaknesses, and blind spots. It's recognizing your emotional responses and understanding why you react the way you do in different situations. This awareness enables you to see patterns in your behavior that may have previously gone unnoticed and allows you to take the necessary steps to change or refine those patterns for growth. To be truly self-aware, you must be willing to be vulnerable with yourself. It's not enough to simply acknowledge surface-level traits. You have to be willing to dig deeper, to explore the roots of your fears, insecurities, and desires. You must ask yourself hard questions and be open to confronting uncomfortable truths about yourself. This deep reflection is crucial because only when you understand your true self can you make intentional decisions that align with your values, goals, and purpose. Self-awareness also involves understanding how you relate to others and the world around you. It's about recognizing how your actions impact those around you and becoming mindful of the energy and presence you bring into any situation. When you are self-awareness, you don't just react impulsively to what others do or say. Instead, you respond thoughtfully, knowing that your actions and words carry weight. Being self-aware is also a key component of emotional intelligence. It allows you to manage your emotions in a way that enhances your life rather than letting them control you. When you are self-aware, you can pause before reacting emotionally, allowing you to choose your response rather than being driven by impulse. You begin to understand the triggers that lead to negative emotions and can take steps to prevent them or deal with them in a healthier way. This kind of awareness is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of introspection, growth, and refinement. It requires consistent self-reflection and a willingness to look at your life honestly, without judgment. By developing self-awareness, you become the master of your life rather than a passive observer. You gain clarity about who you are, where you are in life, and where you want to go. This clarity empowers you to make decisions that serve your best interest and to navigate life with purpose and direction. When you are self-awareness, you understand your strengths and weaknesses, which helps you make better choices. You're able to identify the areas of your life that need attention and focus, and you become equipped to make the changes necessary for improvement. More importantly, self-awareness fosters a deeper understanding of others. It allows you to empathize with their struggles and appreciate their perspectives, which strengthens relationships and creates more harmonious interactions. Self-awareness is the key to unlocking your potential. It enables you to break free from limiting beliefs and patterns, to understand your deeper needs and desires, and to live in alignment with your true self. It's a powerful tool for personal transformation, because only when you understand yourself can you truly begin to grow into the person you are meant to be. Emotional mastery is the ability to recognize, understand, and control your emotions in a way that empowers you to make decisions that align with your goals and values, rather than being driven by impulsive reactions. Our emotions can often feel like an uncontrollable force, but the truth is, they don't have to dictate the course of our lives. Mastering your emotions isn't about suppressing or ignoring them. It's about understanding them deeply and learning how to respond to them in a way that enhances your life rather than hinders it. The first step toward emotional mastery is becoming aware of your emotions as they arise. Too often, we react to situations without fully understanding the emotional trigger behind our response. Whether it's anger, fear, sadness, or frustration, these emotions can take over if we're not careful. The key is to pause, take a step back, and acknowledge what you are feeling. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now, and why am I feeling this way? This simple practice of awareness can be transformative because it gives you the space to choose your response rather than simply reacting in the heat of the moment. Once you recognize your emotions, the next step is to understand their underlying causes. Often, our emotions are signals that point to deeper needs or unresolved issues. For example, if you feel angry, it might be a sign that you feel disrespected or unheard. If you feel anxious, it could be pointing to a fear of the unknown or a lack of control in a situation. By understanding what is at the root of your emotions, you can address the underlying issue rather than just dealing with the surface level emotion. This process of emotional exploration can be incredibly enlightening, as it helps you identify patterns in your emotional responses and the situations that trigger them. Emotional mastery also involves learning to regulate your emotions in a healthy and constructive way. It's not about eliminating negative emotions, but about handling them in a way that allows you to remain calm and centered, even in challenging situations. When you master your emotions, you don't allow them to control your actions. Instead, you take a step back, breathe, and make a conscious decision about how you want to respond. This ability to control your emotional reactions is powerful because it allows you to approach life's challenges with clarity, wisdom, and composure. One of the most important aspects of emotional mastery is emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, disappointments, and difficult emotions. Life will inevitably throw curveballs your way, and it's natural to feel discouraged or overwhelmed at times. However, with emotional mastery, you develop the strength to process those emotions, learn from them, and move forward with a renewed sense of purpose. Emotional resilience is the ability to face adversity without allowing it to define you or derail your progress. It's the understanding that emotions, even the difficult ones, are temporary, and that you have the capacity to move through them and come out stronger on the other side. An essential part of emotional mastery is cultivating emotional intelligence, which involves not only recognizing and managing your own emotions, but also understanding and empathizing with the emotions of others. When you develop emotional intelligence, you can navigate social interactions more effectively, communicate with empathy, and build stronger relationships. This skill is especially important in both personal and professional settings, where understanding the emotions of those around you can lead to more harmonious and productive interactions. In addition, emotional mastery is deeply connected to self-discipline. It's about setting boundaries and not allowing your emotions to dictate your actions, especially when those emotions could lead you down a negative path. For example, when you're angry or frustrated, emotional mastery means choosing to respond in a way that aligns with your values, whether that's taking a moment to cool off, expressing your feelings constructively, or choosing forgiveness. Emotional mastery isn't about avoiding emotions. It's about making choices that align with your highest good, even when your emotions might be pushing you in a different direction. Over time, emotional mastery enables you to approach life with a greater sense of peace and stability. You stop being swept away by every emotional high or low. Instead, you learn to respond with intention, grounded in the knowledge that you are in control of your emotional state. As you continue to refine this skill, you will find that you can handle stress, disappointment, and conflict with much more grace and ease. You'll also begin to experience more joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment, because you're no longer at the mercy of your emotions, but rather in charge of them. Emotional mastery is about empowerment. It is about reclaiming control over the one thing you can always control, your emotions. When you master your emotions, you master your life. You stop being at the mercy of external circumstances and learn to navigate life with confidence, clarity, and emotional strength. It's not an easy journey, but it's one of the most powerful steps you can take in transforming your life and stepping into the fullest version of yourself. A mindset shift is one of the most profound changes you can make in your life, as it directly influences how you perceive and react to the world around you. Your mindset is the lens through which you view everything: your challenges, your potential, your goals, and even the people around you. The way you think shapes the way you live. And when you make the decision to shift your mindset, you begin to unlock possibilities that were once hidden or out of reach. At the core of a mindset shift is the ability to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that abilities, intelligence, and talent are static and cannot be changed. It operates from the belief that you are either good at something or you're not. And any failure is seen as a reflection of your limitations. This mindset leads to stagnation because it discourages learning from mistakes and taking on new challenges. On the other hand, a growth mindset embraces the idea that intelligence and abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. With a growth mindset, failure is not a defeat, but an opportunity for growth. It becomes a stepping stone in the process of learning and improving. This shift in thinking allows you to approach challenges with curiosity, resilience, and optimism, because you know that through effort and persistence, you can overcome obstacles and develop new skills. A mindset shift also involves changing the way you perceive adversity. Instead of seeing struggles as something to avoid or something that defines you, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. Life is full of obstacles. But with the right mindset, These obstacles can become the very things that shape and refine you. When you approach challenges with a positive problem-solving attitude, you build resilience and character. You learn how to handle discomfort and uncertainty, which are inevitable parts of growth. Shifting your mindset also involves transforming the way you talk to yourself. The language you use in your own mind has a profound impact on your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that success is reserved for others, or that you'll never achieve your dreams, then you're conditioning your mind to believe these things. Your self-talk shapes your self-image, which in turn shapes your actions. But by shifting the way you think about yourself and your potential, you can begin to transform your reality. Start replacing limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I haven't figured it out yet, but I will. By reprogramming your internal dialogue, you create a more supportive and constructive mindset that propels you forward. Another key component of a mindset shift is embracing the power of choice. In any situation, you always have the power to choose your perspective. You may not have control over the events that occur, but you do have control over how you respond. This realization is liberating because it means that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to decide how you will face it. By adopting a mindset that focuses on what you can control, your actions, your responses, your attitude, you begin to feel empowered in every situation. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you realize that you are the creator of your own experience. A shift in mindset also requires letting go of the need for perfection. Perfectionism often holds people back from taking risks or pursuing their goals because they are paralyzed by the fear of not getting things just right. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. There is no such thing as a flawless path to success. What matters is progress, not perfection. A mindset that values progress embraces the idea that mistakes are part of the learning process and that taking imperfect action is better than taking no action at all. By shifting your mindset to focus on growth and progress, you free yourself from the fear of failure and open yourself up to new opportunities. The power of a mindset shift also extends to how you view the world and others. If you approach the world with a fixed, limiting mindset, you may see competition, scarcity, and division. But when you shift to a growth mindset, you start to see abundance, collaboration, and opportunities for mutual success. This shift opens doors to new relationships, partnerships, and creative solutions. Instead of seeing others as threats or obstacles, you begin to see them as allies who can help you grow and succeed. Shifting your mindset is about moving from a place of limitation to a place of possibility. It's about opening yourself up to the idea that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to if you're willing to put in the effort and learn from every experience along the way. It's about realizing that your thoughts have power and that by changing the way you think, you can change the trajectory of your life. A mindset shift also involves deepening your understanding of your own potential. It requires moving away from the belief that your current circumstances define who you are and embracing the reality that you are constantly evolving. Your past does not have to dictate your future. By shifting your mindset, you can break free from the constraints of past experiences, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs, and step into a future filled with new possibilities. This shift empowers you to live a life that is intentional, purposeful, and full of potential, because you understand that everything begins with the way you think. Clarity of purpose is the guiding force that gives direction and meaning to your life. Without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to drift aimlessly, reacting to circumstances rather than living with intention. Purpose provides the foundation for every decision you make, every action you take, and every goal you set. When you have clarity of purpose, you align your life with your deepest values, aspirations, and dreams, creating a sense of fulfillment and motivation that propels you forward, even in the face of adversity. Having clarity of purpose means understanding what truly matters to you and what you want to achieve in life. It's about identifying the reasons behind your actions, not just the outcomes. It's not enough to simply have goals. You need to know why those goals matter. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to make a difference? Why do you wake up every day? When your purpose is clear, your motivations are grounded in something deeper than external validation or temporary rewards. It's driven by your own intrinsic desires, your values, and your vision for your life. When you lack clarity of purpose, you may feel lost or disconnected from your true self. You might find yourself chasing after things that don't bring you real satisfaction, or pursuing goals that don't align with who you are. You might feel like you're constantly busy but not really moving forward in a meaningful way. However, when you have clarity of purpose, everything changes. You begin to make choices that reflect your values and your long-term vision, and you start to move in a direction that feels right for you. Each step feels more intentional, more aligned with who you are and where you want to go. Clarity of purpose gives you the strength to stay focused and committed even when faced with setbacks or obstacles. Life is filled with challenges, and it's easy to become discouraged or distracted. But when your purpose is clear, you have a sense of resilience that allows you to persevere. You know that your efforts are not in vain because you're working towards something that truly matters. This deeper sense of meaning keeps you anchored and helps you maintain a positive attitude, even in tough times. In addition to providing direction, clarity of purpose also brings peace. When you're clear about what you want and why you want it, you stop second-guessing yourself. You no longer waste time and energy on things that aren't aligned with your purpose. Your decisions become more decisive because you have a clear standard to measure them against. Every choice, big or small, is guided by your purpose, and this creates a sense of ease and confidence in the decisions you make. Clarity of purpose fosters a sense of fulfillment that external achievements and material possessions can provide. While success and wealth are often seen as markers of achievement, true fulfillment comes from knowing that you are living in alignment with your values and passions. When your purpose is clear, you find joy in the process, not just in the end result. You start to recognize that the journey itself is meaningful and that every small victory, every lesson learned is part of a larger picture. A clear sense of purpose also connects you to something greater than yourself. Whether your purpose is centered around personal growth, service to others, or contributing to a cause greater than your own individual needs, it expands your sense of what's possible. It pushes you to think beyond your own limitations and inspires you to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. When you know your purpose, you tap into a greater source of motivation that fuels you to keep going even when the road gets difficult. Clarity of purpose doesn't just help you in moments of difficulty, it also empowers you to seize opportunities. When you're clear about what you want and where you're headed, you recognize opportunities that align with your purpose more easily. Instead of getting distracted by shiny objects or paths that lead nowhere, you have the discernment to focus on what truly matters. Your purpose acts as a filter for decision making, guiding you toward opportunities that bring you closer to your goals and away from distractions that could lead you off course. Discovering clarity of purpose often involves deep self-reflection and introspection. It requires asking yourself tough questions about who you are, what you value, and what you hope to accomplish in your lifetime. It involves exploring your passions, your talents, your strengths, and your weaknesses. Clarity of purpose comes when you align these elements with your deepest desires and values. It's a process of unearthing what lies within you and finding the courage to step into it. It's also important to note that your purpose may evolve over time. As you grow and learn more about yourself and the world, your sense of purpose may shift or expand. This is completely natural and part of the journey. The key is to remain open to these changes, embracing them with the understanding that your purpose is always guiding you toward greater growth and fulfillment. No matter where you are on your journey, clarity of purpose can always serve as a compass, helping you navigate through the complexities of life with confidence and clarity. When you operate with clarity of purpose, you live with intention, and your actions reflect a deeper connection to what truly matters. Life becomes more than just a series of tasks or obligations. It becomes a meaningful journey toward fulfilling your highest potential and contributing to the world around you. And as you pursue your purpose, not only do you find personal fulfillment, but you also inspire others to find their own purpose and live with intention. This is the power of clarity. It illuminates the path ahead and empowers you to walk it with confidence, joy, and a deep sense of meaning. Breaking negative patterns is one of the most liberating and transformative steps you can take in your life. Negative patterns are the habitual ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving that hold you back from living the life you desire. They are the unconscious cycles of self-sabotage, limiting beliefs, and unhealthy behaviors that you've developed over time, often in response to past experiences or fears. These patterns can show up in many areas of your life, in your relationships, in your work, in the way you view yourself, and in your ability to pursue your dreams. Breaking these patterns requires self-awareness, a willingness to change, and a deep commitment to personal growth. The first step in breaking negative patterns is recognizing them. Many of these patterns are so ingrained that they become automatic responses to certain situations. You may not even be aware of the negative cycle you're in until you take a step back and reflect on the results you're getting. For example, you might find that you repeatedly sabotage your efforts to succeed, whether by procrastinating, avoiding difficult conversations, or doubting your abilities. Or perhaps you notice that certain emotional triggers cause you to react in ways that don't serve you, like getting defensive in relationships or shutting down in stressful situations. Recognizing these behaviors is the first step toward changing them, as it allows you to bring unconscious patterns into conscious awareness. Once you identify the negative patterns, the next step is to dig deeper and understand the root causes. Why do you keep repeating these behaviors? Often, these patterns are the result of deep-seated beliefs or emotional wounds from the past. Maybe you grew up in an environment where failure was punished, and as a result, you developed a fear of failure that causes you to procrastinate or avoid challenges. Or perhaps past hurts and disappointments have led you to believe that you're not worthy of love or success, causing you to push people away or settle for less than you deserve. By understanding the origin of these patterns, you can begin to unravel the beliefs and fears that keep you trapped in them. Breaking negative patterns requires you to reframe your thinking and challenge the beliefs that underpin these behaviors. If you have a negative pattern of self-doubt, for example, you must begin to question the validity of those doubts. Where did they come from? Are they based on truth? Or are they a product of past experiences that no longer serve you? Reframing is about replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of believing I'm not good enough, you can choose to believe I am capable and I am worthy of success. This shift in mindset begins to break down the mental barriers that have kept you in a cycle of negativity. The next crucial step in breaking negative patterns is developing new positive habits to replace the old ones. This requires consistent effort and discipline. But the good news is that over time, these new habits will become just as automatic as the negative ones once were. For example, if you've developed a pattern of procrastinating when faced with difficult tasks, you can replace that behavior with one that encourages action, such as breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps and tackling them one at a time. If you have a pattern of avoiding conflict in relationships, you can replace that with a habit of open and honest communication. The key is to be patient with yourself as you cultivate these new habits and to stay committed to the process, even when it feels uncomfortable at first. Another important part of breaking negative patterns is learning how to respond differently to triggers. Triggers are situations, people, or emotions that set off the negative pattern, often causing an automatic reaction. For instance, if you have a pattern of shutting down when faced with criticism, learning to respond differently involves taking a moment to pause before reacting. Instead of retreating or getting defensive, you might choose to listen calmly, reflect on the feedback, and respond with an open mind. The more you practice responding differently to triggers, the more you rewire your brain to break the automatic reactions that have held you back. Support from others can play a crucial role in breaking negative patterns. It's often difficult to break free from old habits on your own, especially when you've been living with them for a long time. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can provide the guidance, encouragement, and accountability you need to stay on track. Sometimes just knowing that someone is there to support you can make all the difference in maintaining the momentum necessary for change. Furthermore, seeking guidance from those who have successfully broken their own negative patterns can offer valuable insights and inspiration. Breaking negative patterns also requires self-compassion. It's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when you slip up or fall back into old habits. However, beating yourself up only reinforces the negative patterns. Instead, practice self-compassion by recognizing that change takes time and that mistakes are part of the learning process. Treat yourself with the same kindness and patience that you would offer a friend who is going through a similar struggle. By being compassionate with yourself, you create an environment where growth and change can flourish. As you begin to break free from negative patterns, you will start to experience the positive changes in your life. Your relationships will become healthier as you replace old communication patterns with more open and honest interactions. Your confidence will grow as you consistently choose actions that align with your goals and values. Your sense of empowerment will increase as you realize that you have the ability to change your behavior and shape your life. Over time, the negative patterns that once controlled you will be replaced by healthier, more constructive habits that serve your highest good. Breaking negative patterns is not about achieving perfection. It's about progress. It's about taking small, consistent steps toward becoming the best version of yourself. Each time you break a negative cycle, you grow stronger and more resilient. And as you continue this journey, you'll find that not only are you freeing yourself from the limitations of your past, but you're also creating a future that is more aligned with who you truly are and what you want to become. Healing from the past is an essential part of personal growth and transformation. Often we carry the weight of past experiences, whether they are memories of loss, hurt, regret, or trauma, into our present lives. And they affect the way we see ourselves, others, and the world. These unresolved emotions, beliefs, and wounds can create barriers that limit our potential, keeping us stuck in cycles of pain, fear, or self-doubt. Healing isn't about erasing the past, but about making peace with it, learning from it, and finding a way to move forward without allowing it to define who we are today. The process of healing begins with acknowledging the past and allowing yourself to feel the emotions connected to it. Too often, people try to suppress or deny painful feelings, thinking that ignoring them will make them go away. But unresolved emotions don't disappear. They fester and manifest in unhealthy ways, such as anxiety, depression, or destructive behaviors. Healing requires you to confront your emotions, to sit with them, and to honor the pain without judgment. It means giving yourself permission to grieve, to be angry, to feel sad, and to process those emotions in a safe and supportive environment. When you start to face the emotions tied to your past, it's crucial to reflect on the lessons those experiences can teach you. Every painful moment, every hardship, and every failure contains a lesson that can help you grow. The key is to shift your perspective. To see these experiences not as permanent markers of your identity, but as chapters in your story that has shaped who you are today. This doesn't mean you should romanticize the past or dismiss the hurt you've experienced. Rather, it's about recognizing that you have the power to reinterpret your past in a way that empowers you to move forward. Healing also involves letting go of the need for closure or justice from external sources. Often, people carry the weight of the past because they are waiting for someone else to apologize, acknowledge their wrongs, or make amends. While these things can be important, they are not always within your control. Waiting for closure from someone who may never offer it can keep you tethered to your pain, preventing you from truly moving on. Healing comes when you release the need for external validation and take responsibility for your own healing. It's about giving yourself permission to let go of resentment, anger, and bitterness, even if the other person never takes accountability. A significant part of healing from the past is forgiving, not for the sake of the person who hurt you, but for your own peace of mind. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrongs done to you, but about freeing yourself from the grip of those wrongs. Holding onto anger, resentment, or hatred only continues to harm you, not the person who hurt you. When you forgive, you release the emotional burden that keeps you tied to the past, allowing you to regain your power and sense of freedom. Forgiveness may be a long and difficult process, but it's a powerful step toward healing and personal empowerment. Another essential aspect of healing is rewriting the story you've been telling yourself about the past. Many people carry around narratives of victimhood, shame, or regret, replaying old stories in their minds that keep them stuck in the past. To heal, you must challenge these stories and create new narratives, ones that focus on resilience, growth, and self-compassion. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by how you choose to respond to it. By changing the way you view your past, you take away its power over you and reframe it as part of your personal journey toward becoming who you are meant to be. Healing requires the courage to move forward, despite the fear of repeating past mistakes or facing new challenges. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that the past will inevitably repeat itself, but this is not the case. You are not the same person you were when the hurt or trauma occurred. You have grown, learned, and evolved. While there may be echoes of the past that resurface from time to time, healing gives you the strength to face those moments with wisdom and resilience. It's about trusting that you have the tools and the inner strength to overcome whatever life presents. Another critical aspect of healing is self-compassion. We are often our own harshest critics, holding ourselves accountable for things beyond our control or blaming ourselves for past mistakes. But healing can't happen if you're constantly berating yourself. You must learn to treat yourself with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that you would offer a friend who is going through a difficult time. Self-compassion allows you to embrace your imperfections and your humanity, recognizing that everyone goes through pain and makes mistakes. By practicing self-compassion, you create a space for healing to take place and for self-acceptance to blossom. Healing from the past is also about creating new experiences that promote growth and happiness. As you release the emotional weight of your past, you make room for new possibilities and opportunities. It's about choosing to step into the present moment with hope, curiosity, and openness. Whether it's forming new relationships, pursuing passions that bring you joy, or setting new goals, healing allows you to live fully in the now without the constant pull of past wounds. By embracing the present and building a future aligned with your values and desires, you take control of your life and create a sense of fulfillment that wasn't possible while you were still carrying the weight of the past. Healing is a lifelong journey, not a destination. It doesn't happen overnight, and there may be setbacks along the way. However, each step you take toward healing brings you closer to a deeper sense of peace, wholeness, and self-awareness. As you continue to heal, you'll find that you become more resilient, more compassionate, and more connected to your true self. You'll learn that the past, while important, does not have to dictate your future. Instead, you have the power to shape your life no matter what has happened before. And through this process, you create space for a more authentic and empowered version of yourself to emerge. Continuous growth is an ongoing, dynamic process that involves striving to improve and evolve in every aspect of your life. It's the commitment to becoming better, not just in terms of skills or achievements, but in how you think, how you interact with others, and how you engage with the world around you. It's the recognition that personal development is not a one-time event, but a journey that requires consistent effort, introspection, and openness to change. The idea of continuous growth is rooted in the belief that no matter where you are in life, there is always room to expand your knowledge, refine your character, and enhance your abilities. At the core of continuous growth is the mindset of lifelong learning. Every experience, whether positive or negative, has something valuable to teach you. When you embrace the idea that learning doesn't stop after school or after achieving a particular goal, you open yourself up to a world of opportunities. This mindset encourages you to constantly seek new knowledge, challenge your assumptions, and push the boundaries of what you thought was possible. Whether you're learning from a book, a mentor, or a difficult situation, you are always in the process of expanding your understanding of yourself and the world. Personal growth is not a linear path. There will be times when progress feels slow, or when you encounter setbacks that make you question whether growth is even happening. However, growth often comes in waves, and sometimes the most significant transformations happen during periods of struggle. It's in those moments of difficulty that you are forced to reflect on your choices, your habits, and your mindset. These periods of challenge can be some of the most profound times for growth, as they push you to adapt, to rethink your strategies, and to build resilience. Through this process, you begin to understand that growth is not just about moving forward, but also about becoming stronger and more capable in handling the ups and downs of life. Continuous growth also means being open to feedback and criticism. In order to grow, you must be willing to examine yourself honestly and without defensiveness. The feedback you receive from others, whether it's constructive criticism or praise, can serve as a mirror reflecting areas where you may need to improve. However, growth is not about seeking validation from others, but using feedback as a tool for self-awareness. When you can listen to feedback with humility and without taking it personally, you allow yourself the opportunity to see yourself from a different perspective and make necessary changes. Growth involves letting go of the ego and being open to the fact that there's always something to learn. A critical aspect of continuous growth is self-discipline. It's easy to get excited about personal development when you're inspired or motivated, but true growth happens when you continue working toward your goals, even when motivation wanes. This requires the ability to stay focused and committed to the process, regardless of the challenges or distractions that come your way. Self-discipline helps you develop habits that support your growth and align your actions with your values. Whether it's waking up early to work on a skill, pushing through a difficult task, or maintaining healthy habits, self-discipline is the backbone of growth, ensuring that you continue making progress even when it's hard. Another key component of continuous growth is embracing failure and mistakes. Society often views failure as something to avoid at all costs. But true growth comes from the lessons you learn in the face of failure. Every time you fall short, you have the opportunity to reflect on what went wrong, what could be improved, and how you can adapt going forward. Rather than viewing failure as a setback, you can see it as a stepping stone towards success. Growth involves cultivating resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. The more you embrace failure as part of the learning process, the more you allow yourself the space to take risks, try new things, and ultimately grow beyond your comfort zone. Growth also requires a deep level of self-awareness. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Continuous growth involves regularly taking the time to assess where you are, who you are, and where you want to go. This self-reflection helps you identify areas of strength as well as areas that need improvement. It also gives you insight into your own motivations, fears, and desires. Self-awareness allows you to align your actions with your deeper values and ensures that the growth you're pursuing is authentic and true to your purpose. Without self-awareness, growth becomes aimless, and you might find yourself working toward goals that don't truly resonate with your inner self. In addition, continuous growth is deeply interconnected with personal responsibility. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires active participation in your own development. You must take ownership of your decisions, your actions, and your growth. No one else can do the work for you. The responsibility for your growth lies within you. And with that comes the power to change your circumstances. By taking responsibility for where you are and where you're going, you become an active participant in your own journey. This sense of agency empowers you to make choices that align with your growth and ensure that you're consistently moving toward becoming the person you want to be. Another important aspect of continuous growth is creating a supportive environment that fosters development. While personal growth is an individual pursuit, it is also greatly influenced by the people you surround yourself with. The relationships you have, the communities you engage with, and the mentors you seek can all have a profound impact on your growth. By surrounding yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support you, you create an environment that encourages progress. Growth thrives when you are in a space where ideas flow freely. Encouragement is abundant, and challenges are met with a mindset of collective support. Continuous growth is not just about achieving external success or ticking off accomplishments. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, constantly evolving, adapting, and expanding. It's about cultivating a mindset that seeks improvement in all areas of life, from your relationships and career to your personal health and well-being. As you grow, you'll find that the process itself becomes just as fulfilling as the results, and that every step you take forward brings you closer to a deeper understanding of who you are and who you are capable of becoming. Growth is an ongoing journey, one that never truly ends, as long as you continue to embrace the possibilities of who you can be. Faith and belief in yourself are two of the most powerful forces you can harness on your journey to achieving your goals and living your most authentic life. These internal qualities provide the foundation for overcoming obstacles, taking risks, and pursuing your passions. Without faith in yourself, it's easy to become overwhelmed by doubts, fears, and the challenges that life inevitably throws your way. On the other hand, when you cultivate a strong belief in your abilities and trust in your potential, you unlock the strength and resilience necessary to keep going, no matter what. Belief in yourself starts with understanding and accepting who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your potential, and your limitations. It means acknowledging that you are enough, just as you are, and that you have the ability to grow and evolve. Too often, people wait for external validation before they feel worthy of success or happiness. But true belief comes from within. When you trust in yourself, you stop seeking approval from others and begin to rely on your own inner compass to guide your decisions. Faith in yourself is more than just positive thinking or self-affirmations. It's a deep-seated trust that you have the capacity to handle whatever comes your way. It's the quiet knowing that even in the face of adversity, you are capable of finding solutions, adapting, and rising above.